Yeah, hopefully you all had a great weekend. It's now Sunday night, but let's do a little weekly outlook. We'll do the levels for this week and potentially Monday, Tuesday. We'll send them out to everyone in this video, basically. But yeah, let's go over what we sort of did the last couple of trading sessions. Um, right, pretty clean movement. Didn't catch the downside move right on Friday, end of the day, but uh, cleanly caught this move down to, or not down, but from 44.20. Right, we discussed this level. I want to say like for the last 3 weeks, right? This level was going to act as a magnet, um, right? You have this volume profile. This is the volume profile of the composite. Um, right? And you also got your value area, right? I don't want to say value area, but a high volume node within this balance, right? If we just merge all these weekly ones together, right? That's sort of where the top of that range is, right? You could argue that it starts at like 25, 23-ish, but 20 is where the bulk of it is. So that's the level we're looking at. Only got a wick under. Caught this move on that day on Thursday. And then we had what was it? Non-farm payrolls come in, and reacted somewhat okay off those, and off this bounce, right? What do we expect? We sort of got the failed auction lower to get acceptance back within this. So now what do? You target the opposite end, right? Or acceptance within. And in that case, that's this level here, 70. Sort of briefly got into it, although we didn't quite get into, sort of the shelf there up at 76, but got close, um, right? Failed and basically retraced all the way back down to the low of day on Friday, right? And took it out. So the guys that caught that, right? Really nice returns, especially on SPX, SPY options, same days. A little bit riskier, but definitely paid out really well. But anyway, right, going into the week, we have an inside week once again. Right? We sort of discussed this on this day, on this week. I don't know if you guys recall, but um, we did mention the fact of either being a seller upon this break of the low or looking to fade it right upon rejection. You do get under it a little bit, and then wick back up and end up basically going to the other end of this candle, making it basically an outside wick to the upside, and basically now forming this nice little balance, right? And then we sort of have this inside candle again, right? And same thing. You either want to be a seller if this low breaks, you find acceptance, uh, you know, uh, definitely want to be a seller in that instance. But if we don't see any strong selling under that, definitely, I will definitely be fading it with some size, and targeting either, if we break down out of this, we're not going that much, right? We're sort of in the middle of the balance as of now, right? The low is 44, it seems like 21, 20, 21 and 20. If we do take that out, right, just look for selling. If you don't get it, I'll definitely be looking to fade it all the way potentially up to, come back to the TPO, right? Probably up to this 50 level. Right, that's sort of our target going into this week. I don't want to say target, but level going into this week. This was sort of Thursday's highs. Got some nice action on it Friday, right? Sort of held as resistance until you broke over it, got a nice move. And that's sort of, where things got a little flushy. It got really, really violent here once you took out 50. Well, it actually got violent once you took out 64, which was another level we were looking at last week. But under 50 got real violent, and the last 30 minutes was really, really quick and violent. So 50, sort of where all that occurred, 50 to 51. So we'll keep that level in mind. And I'm currently in a long off of 26, so not up much, but that's sort of our main target, 50. But anyway, right, longer term levels. I don't say longer term, but medium to short term levels. You have your level there, 4420, right? 21. You have your, I believe this low was 19, if I remember correctly. But, we'll keep it at 20. And under that, you can probably target, if you once you do get acceptance under this, definitely target 4409, sort of the bottom range of the lower range of this high volume node. But under that, I'm probably targeting this balance low, which would be down at 370. Let's see. No, 350. Right, so I'm kind of considering this the balance. Well, balances are a little subjective sometimes, so from this up candle on, so that low, 350-ish, 47, 48, right? That's going to be my balance low I'm looking at. Obviously, this is your 20. Oh, wait, no, this is not the 20 level. This low might be of some importance. Definitely a poor low there if I call. Yeah, you do have a poor low down there. But yeah, targeting basically this balance low down at 48 to 49. I got a couple levels in between that. You got your 390, just a little bit of a shelf, not too big. Got a little bit of a value area there. Don't know why this doesn't extend further back, but you do have another day behind us, and your value area right there is 4370, 4369-ish. So also this spike low, so we'll keep an eye on that if we do come down to that. And at that point, you can do the same concept of, right, fading that wick under, or the lack of sellers, right? You can fade that and play it the other way, or you could, wait a little bit, because you definitely don't want to be initiating shorts at balance lows, and especially at inside week lows. Same concept, right? You do want to wait for a little bit longer and see some acceptance before you do that. Same thing with upside, right? If you're at a pretty big level, it's like a balance high or balance area high. Don't necessarily want to be initiating longs right under that. But so that's sort of our take going into this week. If we see over 50 to 51, if that flips, we'll be targeting 60. Let's take a look at this. Probably 65. You did see 64 to 65, but that was sort of another level. Right, we sort of discussed earlier where we saw some interest. Right, 64 to 65. And when we got under 64 on Friday, that was when the move lower really started. Right, you got that rejection, that failed auction higher, and came down to 64. And then chopped around for a little bit, saw some buying, but ultimately came down. So 64, 65 will be a target. 70, I actually don't think we need this. We're at 70. We'll probably just target this last high. All right, 76. Buyers ultimately want to get back into this 3-day balance range, right? So this was, I know these were shortened days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Definitely want to get back within that. That would be my target. And, if we do approach this, probably target your value area low at 83. Also happens to be somewhat of a low volume node. And balance area high, which also comes in line with sort of this, sort of the TPO point of control. So the levels going into this week, and Monday, Tuesday potentially. We do have CPI and PPI Wednesday, Thursday, so keep that in mind. Right, I'll probably make some more levels as we approach those days, because I really hope we don't stay within this balance when those data points come out. Really, really hoping we get out of this balance. Right, obviously not as tight as this big balance down here or this little smaller one here, but still nice little balance. So that's it on the ES. Maybe we can go take a look at a couple charts for this week. I was saying in the voice chat earlier, I was liking Tesla potentially for this week. You're kind of flagging at highs there. This is the daily. Let's go down to the. I know there's a lot of levels. I'll clean this up. I promise, but you know, nice little flag above highs, getting some attention recently off their delivery numbers here. I think they have earnings on the 19th. Okay, so 2 weeks. Should be a fun one. Okay, let's take a look at something we can play potentially early in the week. Slap on a volume profile. I mean, you do have this huge gap. Alright. You know, the people that shorted this break lower probably got screwed, and people that shorted this break lower probably got screwed. I mean, that's what markets will do, but you know, just probably looking for that level to hold, right? Sort of right there. I want to say 27, 273 ish. Right, sort of want to hold. Otherwise, you'll probably see. I mean, you got a little bit of a shelf there. May end up holding, may not. Keep that level in the chart there, but ultimately, right, got your level down here. Right, at that point, you're probably gonna fill the gap. Right on. At that point, you would have filled your true gap technically, and then you got your gap down all the way down to here. So, just a couple of levels to look out for. Yeah, maybe if we can potentially get over 277.20, initiate some longs on acceptance into it. A couple other names, Square, found pretty interesting. You know, a lot of whipsaw action in this one. Past a couple days, right? Didn't quite sell off on Friday along with the rest of the market, but some pretty violent candles recently, right? A little increase in volume here, there, but I am liking this name. Let's take a look at the profile there. Okay, so preferably I'd like to see it hold 66.90 to 70, I guess, that level. Probably. Well, preferably I'd like to hold it. I'd like to see it hold the close here. But you know, if it does come down, I'd like to see it hold this for potential entry long if I see enough buyers there. Yeah, I think that's the only way I'll play it. I don't think I would play it if it does go any lower than that. So that's sort of be the line in the sand there. I mean, they still got a gap there to fill. Up to 72, you got a 200 right above. Alright, showed signs of trying to get over this little level at 67.70. Got over one day, but gap down lower and, you know, tested again. Didn't close above. So we'll watch this Monday, Tuesday. But yeah, I'm gonna be pretty strict on this game plan. Right, I don't want to see it lower than this. Don't think I'll pay attention to it if it does get lower. And another one, I was interested in Schwab. I mean, Schwab and JPM definitely look the best out of financials. Well, I don't want to say best. Schwab is down quite a bit, but you know, from just a chart point of view, just a chart perspective, right? Goldman, Citi, Wells Fargo, well, not bad. Goldman definitely looking like it's about to fall off a cliff here, right? Potentially a good risk to reward trade. They do have earnings next Wednesday, right? And a pretty important trend line, entering into a couple big, you know, levels of interest. You know, definitely buyers down here. Maybe potentially another set of buyers down there, and potentially there, right? So, but even off this trend line, looks like a pretty good move. You could potentially be an early entry into. But yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this one. Schwab, right? Clear neckline. Well, you got multiple necklines actually. Got that one, and you got this one, right? You got over this neckline, right? You can see the sort of I guess inverse head and shoulder will sort of disregard this day, but right, it's sort of there. Kind of hovered above it for a couple days, got under and closed above, so I would take a look at this one. Maybe get some more time on it though. This one has earnings next week as well. You know, I'd like to see it hold definitely this level here at 55.50. Or I'd like to see just any form of strength above this like 58. Keep those levels in mind going into the week. Let's see, what is he at right now? 25. Okay. And there were a couple other names actually for earnings that I was interested in. Synopsys and DXC. Right, they got earnings coming up. I mean, they've been a pretty strong name these past couple, well, almost full year. They've been doing pretty well. You know, got this little trend line above you. Came down into demand. Haven't really closed the gap yet. Right, always there, but earnings coming up. You know, could get a nice move off that if you do have some time, or you can just play like an earnings run up, right? As long as it holds around here, premium should, especially you know if they're expiring this Friday or maybe potentially the next week. We got a nice earnings run up on this one. But yeah, would love to see a trend line break, maybe a daily close, and then a retest potentially. I mean, we do have time, right? We have like a month and a little bit for this one. So, but we'll watch it early this week for any moves, and then DXC, another longer term one, right? Sort of coming out of this trend line, this multi-year trend line. Obviously, if you're high there, but multi-year trend line, peaked over it, right? Got under, but peaked over, retested, and got a nice candle. Seen some pretty nice volume as of late. Might just be an equity position for me. I was talking to Thundy about this earlier today, and you know, I was mentioning the idea of this company getting bought out. So who knows? Who knows? But I will be starting a small equity position in this one. So keep you guys updated on that. Potentially some options plays real soon. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on these going into the week. Other names, not quite interested in. Maybe AMD, but I feel like they're probably just gonna follow the rest of the semis, and they don't look the greatest right now. Yeah, might need some time to cool off a little bit, close some of these gaps. Not really interested in these names that are a bit too overextended. I mean, Apple, look at this channel. Right, that is absurd. Right, that is a very steep incline. That's been going on for almost half a year now. Oh, more than half a year, a little bit over half a year. Very overextended. I mean, look, yeah, RSI is starting to get wacky. Even on the weekly, you're at pretty significant highs. Highs you don't typically see too often. But the thing is, it doesn't necessarily mean you've come to a top, right? Even though you can see RSI can get up to this 90 reading, right, and where it starts to chop sideways. Even up to here, I mean, if you were looking at Apple here and went short, I mean, you missed out on, right, 25% on Apple. It's RSI, not the end all be all when it comes to picking tops and bottoms, but you know, definitely showing signs of getting a little bit frothy. So probably just watch the ones I mentioned. Netflix might be a potential good one to play actually, but you know, we'll keep the list small of tickers we want to watch. And on that note, well, I gave you all the levels. Probably playable Monday, Tuesday. I'm hoping we get out of this balance by Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. We do have CPI and PPI, so hoping one of those takes us out. This balance be pretty interesting. But anyway, hope y'all have a great rest of your nights, and I will catch y'all this week.